Hey, just one. Baby, you do the 5 drop time is the best. It's the Bianca Burwell Show. You won't listening? She hot. What you got for your radio drop? Two-stepping out with the old one, in with the new one. It's the Bianca Burwell Show. It's the Bianca Burwell Show. Let's go. It's the Bianca Burwell Show. You are tuned in to the Bianca Burwell Show on the TheBeatDropsRadio, your top 45 and R&B station. Newbie to Atlanta, what's going on, peoples? I haven't been here in a while. I've been doing a whole bunch of stuff, moving and whatnot. But it is an ugly day out there today, but apparently it's clearing up just a little bit. Just a little bit. I'm not too mad about that, but it was storming. Like, we had tornado watches for a second. Well, tornado watches, tornado warnings, you know, torrential rain just coming down in sheets. Good gosh, you're just happy to make it throughout the day. The call number here today is 404-826-9223. Again, 404-826-9223. That's the calling number. The listen line, 24 hours a day, 401-347-0418. We have British recording artist A. King that's coming in the building today. We're going to be talking about the latest on Phaedra and Apollo, that craziness, Ebola virus. Was it what we thought or worse? The religious effort in Ferguson, protests, etc. I think I saw a picture of Cornel West being arrested. Is that not crazy? Cornel, man, come on now. You're supposed to be, you know, knowledgeable and talking to the people, not getting arrested too. Good gravy. At any rate, so we got a lot of stuff that we're going to be doing today, and it's a jam-packed show. I'm excited. I haven't been here in a while. I have my intern / son over there working the board. Well, he's not working the board, but he's working the video. So I'm glad to have him here. Dougie Fresh is off today, so it's me, myself, and I until A. King walks in the building. So I'm looking forward to that. Feel free to ask some questions if you got them. The Q&A box is open if you want to see everything that's happening. He giving me the wrap-up sign. You want to see everything that's happening as it happens, just go to TheBeatDropsRadio.com, click on Watch Live, and you'll be able to see what's happening in the Q&A box. You can type in all of my people that's in cubicles. You can type in your questions and all of that, and we'll be able to see it real time. As long as it's not crazy, we'll be able to answer them accordingly. I feel a little different as far as the music today. We're going to have some neo-soul along with some old-school hip-hop. I feel like throwing in some, and some pop. So we're going to be doing some Floetry, some Music Soul Child, some Maroon 5, some Memphis Bleak and Benny Siegels, the Roots. That's what we're doing today. So I'm excited. Keep it locked right here on the Bianca. But we're going to kick it off right now. Floetry. Keep it locked. reach you to the BeatDropsRadio@gmail.com to set up an appointment today. Actively, as we are gearing up to here and expanding our network to include interesting, creative, fun, original, and captivating shows, and this just might be you. We are a family-friendly, top 40 pop and R&B station located in the Atlanta metro area. Now, if you don't live in the Atlanta area and have pre-recorded shows, we have time slots available for you too. Don't delay and email us today to TheBeatDropsRadio@gmail.com.
My song, Make It Out This Town, is about being confidence. So is Big Brothers and Sisters. Many lives live in single parent, low income, military families. Too many kids, especially boys, are still waiting for a baby. Volunteer again. Start something. Big Brothers and Sisters, please start something better. Learn more at Big Brothers and Sisters.
You are listening to the Bianca Burwell Show. And there's a lot of things that's going on in the news right now. I'll kick it off with entertainment. And just a reminder, too, that the BET Hip Hop Awards comes on tonight at 8 p.m. with Snoop Dogg hosting. You say Uncle Snoop, Uncle Snoop. BET Hip Hop Awards, that comes on tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. BET. And you guys know that we had a great time here in the Atlanta area. That always takes place in September, usually around the third weekend in September. It just happened to fall on my birthday weekend. So I enjoyed myself and Jay Millie and Dave Tolliver from Full Belly Radio comes on here every Wednesday from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, along with Elle Garth. But Elle Garth was not with us that particular weekend. She had some other stuff that she was doing, and she happened to roll through the Hip Hop Awards, walk the carpet, along with Dave Tolliver. So a lot of events took place. We went to all kinds of gifting things and new artists and all other kind of stuff. We got plenty of footage and we talked about it then. So plenty of pictures. Just go to the TheBeatDropsRadio.com, click on the L tick to take you to our Facebook fan page. And there you can look at the pictures. BET Hip Hop Awards 2014. And check out, some of the red carpets. Dave graced. He was acting a fool too, y'all. Acting a fool. Big things with Dave Tolliver. He's going to be headlining next month in November. He's going to be headlining the Acoustic Cafe Experience. Is happening in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Just stay tuned for more details on that. I am thoroughly excited. I'm looking forward to it. So now, Phaedra Parks, Apollo Nida, who doesn't know about them? Real Housewives of Atlanta. Man, it's just been a mess. So Phaedra Parks apparently, now Apollo already said this when he went on B100. That's another online radio station located here in the Atlanta area, owned by Ms. A, which is Waka Flocka's mom, Deb Atney. And they have a show on there, Shut the Funny Up. That's the name of it, Shut the Funny Up. And they had Apollo on there, just talking about the whole situation and what his feelings were on it. And he felt like, it wasn't going to work anyway. He felt like as soon as he would go into jail, that his wife, Phaedra, was more than likely going to file for divorce. And he said, and I quote, my wife didn't even show up for my sentencing. So I'm still kind of salty about that. Like, she didn't even come. She didn't even make it. So I guess she was distancing herself at that point in time, because it's not like this is Apollo's first time dealing with the law. It's not. So the couple's relationship, of course, just went on a bumpy ride because of his legal issues and his prison sentence. According to a representative of the family, Phaedra retained an attorney with the intent of amicably ending her marriage. It comes a month after he went to prison for fraud conviction. Apparently, he was just doing all kinds of craziness. Apollo just was off of the doggone chain with all the stuff that he was doing, and Phaedra was trying to distance herself. So he pleaded guilty in May to charges in a fraud scheme that federal prosecutors say stole millions of dollars from at least 50 people over 4 years. At least 50 people. Now, right now, Apollo is 35, right? He also has to serve 5 years under parole supervision after he completes his prison stint. He's right now, he's in Lexington, Kentucky. That's where he is, a minimum security federal prison in Lexington, Kentucky. And the last time he served 5 years for an auto title fraud before marrying Phaedra in 2009. Now, after that, in 2010 is when they joined the Bravo series, Real Housewives of Atlanta. So I don't know what in the heck is going to happen. Apparently, it says they play a big part in the show's upcoming 7th season. And there's a trailer that's out there. So I don't know. They have 2 sons right now, 8 and 4, and Dylan is a year old, which we saw before. But, you know, Phaedra has been real quiet. She's been extremely quiet about her husband's criminal activities and what she knew about him. But now they're like, you about to talk now. Because Phaedra, apparently she's going to be grilled by attorneys for author Angela Stanton, who Phaedra sued for defamation. Isn't that interesting? Because Phaedra, well, actually, Angela Stanton was saying that Phaedra was like a ringleader, and she knew exactly how to get away from crime, get away with crimes, and all the other kinds. And that's what Angela Stanton was alleging. But now with this whole situation that has come up, I'm pretty sure that that's opened up all kinds of stuff because she said she knew all about it. She said that Phaedra ain't innocent. She knew all about what Apollo is doing, all his illegal activities. So Phaedra has already was already deposed once in the case, but stonewalled attorneys when it came to Apollo. So now a judge has ordered Phaedra to sit for a second deposition. Now this is recent. Matter of fact, as of the other day, a second deposition and answer those questions. So Stanton's lawyers say they need the info from Parks so they can mount a proper defense in the defamation case. It just goes from bad to ugly, don't it? Just real fast, bad to ugly. So get it together. Get it together, Phaedra. I don't know how she's going to work this situation out. So I guess we'll see that in the coming days, weeks, months, whatever it takes. You know, Phaedra is an attorney, so she knows how to get around some stuff. Now, I said before on the show, in regards to Ferguson, that whole situation that happened, the shooting with Michael Brown, and then now there's another shooting that has taken place up there with an armed teenager, upon which the police say that he shot first, and I believe he was struck like 7 times, something like that. That has spurred some more, you know, weekend protests and things of that nature. And Cornel West was in the building. Cornel West knocked over during a shuffle or a scuffle with the police during a protest at the Ferguson Police Department. As it took place on October the 13th. So it's just all kinds of stuff. It just, to me, is just apparent that there is a distrust between the Black community and the police. And it's not just in the Ferguson, Missouri area. Actually, that is nationwide, unfortunately. There are some good police officers. There are some good police officers. And then there are some that just act a complete and total fool and just hide behind the badge. You know how there are some guys that were like, had the short man complex, or, you know, they may have been bullied or whatever, get that badge and all of a sudden it's superpowers and they can do and say whatever because they have the badge. That's how some Black people feel about it. Like, you know, you wouldn't be doing this if you had that badge or if you didn't have that gun type situation. And that unfortunately is just a whole lot, you know, that's going on right now. And apparently this has been going on for quite some time. A lot of folks especially some of the religious leaders there, have been saying that it's just been going on for too long. And we all stand at fault because we didn't address this. So the U.S. Justice Department launched a civil rights investigation into Brown's death, and a grand jury is considering charges against Wilson. Wilson is the one that, the officer that shot and killed Mr. Brown up there, Michael Brown. and protesters want him immediately charged and arrested. That's what they want. One of the bishops there said, he wants to show solidarity and call attention to the structural racism of St. Louis. And apparently St. Louis is not that far from Ferguson, apparently, from all that I've seen and read. I have not been up there. I've been to St. Louis before, but I've never been to Ferguson. Apparently it's a smaller area, and it just disproportionate as far as police officers and the amount of representation there. Maybe that's it. I don't know. We're all just looking at this situation from afar, but some of you all aren't looking at it from afar. You're dealing with it when you look outside your window or in your neighborhoods or wherever it may be. That stop and frisk situation that's going on up in New York and other places, some people say DWB, driving while black, get pulled over, craziness, like the light over your license plate is out and you get pulled over and just all kind of stuff, just craziness. So it's just, I'm not sure why Cornel West, I think Cornel West went to kind of just bring some closeness or try to provide some guidance, and then others have just called him a clown. They've called him a clown the same as they have with Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton and all the rest of them. That's what they have called him. Now, when I called him, that's what they called him. So I think that's crazy. So we'll still see how this whole situation unfolds up there in Ferguson. It looks like they have a very long way to go. I will say that I am surprised that the officer, that nothing has happened at this point. It just seems as though something would have happened by now. And I want to address something that I recall during this whole situation with Michael Brown, and they were saying that there was a tussle in the car or whatever, but I just want to point out, y'all, it wasn't like a squad car to the floor, because some people to the ground, because some people were thinking that, like, how can he grab Michael Brown, as tall as he was 6'2", 6'3", through the squad car, without opening the door? But in actuality, it was a SUV. It was a sport utility vehicle, and they're considerably higher. Just saying. You're like, where did that come from? Because some people were saying that doesn't make sense. That just doesn't make sense. But don't look at the squad car, like police squad car. It was a sport utility vehicle, of which the tussle. And if you look at some of the pictures, you'll see that. So, unfortunate situation. Yet again, another mother that is dealing with the loss of her son. And I just hate it. But that is the world that we are living in right now. Coming up straight ahead, we're going to be talking about the Ebola situation in Ontario virus 68 that we've been talking about here for quite some time. It's just all kinds of plagues and things like that just happening. Good gosh. So keep it locked right here on the Bianca Burwell Show. We'll be back after this. Maroon 5 Animals.
Sunday morning. Inspiration right here on TheBeatDropsRadio, 9 a.m. Make sure you tune in. Download the TuneIn app so you can take it wherever you go. Win an app right here on the station. Streamer radio, we are available. Make sure you get that inspiration that you need.
Appreciate you tuning in.
Skin is so clear. What's the secret? I know from but Ruby and asphalt and iron. It's got to be the duck base and Moroccan cocoa oil. I know that works.
Not that.
So what is
It's Power Shake.
Power what?
An aftershave lotion that blends in unique anti-inflammatory antiseptic.
that sounds pretty good, but how does it help you?
It prevents bumps, ingrown hairs, and razor burns. Helps reduce swelling and soreness of the skin.
That sounds like a fantastic product. And what about the ladies? I know some ladies that
Ladies are covered too with Power Shake. It prevents discoloration and itching, resulting from hair removal. It's the fastest way to a smooth cleaner. And effective this will result in 2 pounds. 100%.
man, I've been putting all this stuff on my face. I could have been using Power Shave all the time.
Yes, you could have.
I tell you what you do. Power Shave.
PRIVASHAVE.com.
Have a great personality, connect well with people, and an idea that you know would make a great show. Then contact the Beat Drops Radio and email your YouTube links, website, and contact information to TheBeatDropsRadio@gmail.com to set up an appointment today. Act quickly as we are gearing up for the new year and expanding our network to include interesting, creative, fun, original, and captivating shows. And this just might be you. We are a family-friendly, top 40 pop and R&B station located in the Atlanta metro area. Now, if you don't live in the Atlanta area and have pre-recorded shows, we have time slots available for you too. Don't delay and email us today, TheBeatDropsRadio.
This is your girl Bianca Burwell on the Beat Drops Radio. Every day, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 2 p.m. of us Eastern Central. Yeah. If you haven't done it already, make sure you like us on our Facebook page. That's the station Facebook page by going to TheBeatDropsRadio.com, clicking on the F. That'll take you directly to our Facebook page. Click like. Once you hit like, though, don't be stingy. Like, share that. Suggest it to all your friends. Invite. Just, suggest. And if you want an artist and you're looking for spins, to a station that reports like this one, all you got to do to submit your music and also be featured on New Music Monday, because we love doing that. We did that with Tawana Leo. I'm holding it up for those of you all who are watching right now. Tawana Leo. We had her in for a New Music Monday, and she actually did her CD release party at the same time during BET Hip Hop Awards weekend that happened right here in the Atlanta area last month, which, again, is a reminder, BET Hip Hop Awards is coming on tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Uncle Snoop. He ain't my uncle, though, but Snoop Dogg is hosting. Some people said he was just off the freaking chain. I'm looking forward to seeing what in the heck he was doing. I'm pretty sure he did a lot of blazing, a lot of drinking, a lot of cursing. That's Snoop, ain't it? Isn't it? Just saying. So welcome in everybody. The calling number is 404-826-9223. The listen line is 401-347-0418. For those of you guys that want to listen 24 hours a day, it doesn't matter. You can watch me live right now. We have a guest that will be coming in the building shortly, a King, British recording artist. He will be here at the top of the second hour. I'm looking forward to sit down and chat with him and see what's going on. Jay Millie from Full Belly Radio right here that comes on the station every Wednesday, every Wednesday from 7 to 9 p.m. I got an artist, yo. I got an artist. And I would love for him to come on the show. I took a listen to his music, was like, sure. Would love to have him. She met him at the A3C that took place here in the Atlanta area. Yo, we have a lot of things that happen right here in the Atlanta area. I'm talking about, it didn't used to be that way. You had to previously go to other cities. I'm talking about in the past. New York, like people was like, if you can make it in New York, you make it anywhere. And I'm not saying that New York has lost its flair. But in a sense it has, because for those who are looking to make it an entertainment, typically, now they come to Atlanta and they go to Hollywood, LA. That's just what they do. Now, one thing I want to segue to right now is the Ebola virus. Now, I remember having conversations not long ago with a few people on college campuses, and this had to be a couple months ago. And they were mentioning a few things, and I thought the same thing, that isn't it remarkable, absolutely remarkable, how our airports, you don't hear anything about them restricting travel or none of that. So how do we know? No, it's only a matter of time before the Ebola virus is here, because there was just nothing in place to protect us. And if you're like me, when you're in an airplane, you look around. I remember coming from Hawaii. I went to Hawaii to conduct some business, and at the time, my oldest brother was stationed there for he's in the service. So as he was stationed there, I decided, you know, like I said, some business I was taking care of there, and I met with some promoters. And Nugget, what's going on, Nugget? There is paperwork that you sign on your way flying to Hawaii. Okay, you have to state the nature of your business and all kinds of stuff that they have you fill out. That if you do not have it filled out, you ain't getting off the plane. Okay, now you fill out all that information. They talk about the ecosystem that's there in Hawaii. Now, of course, it was beautiful. It's beautiful. If you've ever been to Hawaii, Waikiki, and all that other stuff, I enjoyed myself. I was there for 10 days. Okay, very productive. Now, with that being said, when I was getting ready to fly back to the mainland from Hawaii, which, you know, Hawaii is part of the 50 states, last I checked, right? Hawaii, part of the 50 states. So while I was in Hawaii, when I was coming back, about to come back, I had some grapes with me that I had purchased off of the military base. Some grapes. No different kind of grape than I've ever seen in my life. I mean, I've had grapes before, right? So with the grapes, the man told me that I couldn't take the grapes back on the airplane with me to the mainland. So I'm talking about the ecosystems, grapes. And I looked at him, I looked at my grapes, I looked at him, I looked at my grapes, and I said to myself, if I leave my grapes right here, he gonna eat my stuff. I said, you know what? I'm here early enough. I will sit myself down and I will eat my grapes. I'm not giving you, you're not confiscating my grapes. So I sat down and ate every last bit of all my grapes. Crazy. So I ate my grapes, and then I was able to get on the plane. Crazy. So with that being said, grapes I could not take on the airplane. From one state to another, America, the United States. But yet somebody with Ebola, and you're in an airplane, I can't stand being next to somebody when I'm flying on the airplane and they coughing. All that. And there was a man, I was sitting right in the middle, and right next to me, he was just coughing. I said, oh, the hell, if I'm about to be sitting on this plane for all these hours next to this dude that's coughing like this. So I looked around and I saw a gentleman, military, and he was sitting by himself. So I said, do you mind if I sit with you? He said, not a problem. And I promptly got myself up and moved. I was like, I am not about to sit next to this dude. I don't know what he got. And that's my point. You're in an airplane. The air is like compressed. It's not like you can roll down a window in an airplane. Everybody in there has to be exposed. And I just really feel like, and I don't think I'm wrong on this situation, that there are more people that have been exposed and infected by the Ebola virus than they want to admit. Way more than what they want to tell us, because they want to try to keep back or keep down Panamanian or panic. Now, Nia Pham, who was a Dallas nurse that's diagnosed with Ebola, there in Texas, 26-year-old, health officials have not released her name, you know, but Yahoo News identified Pham through public records and the state nurses database, okay? And she was one of the 50 to 70 people who cared for Thomas Eric Duncan, who died on a Wednesday, right? Now, she's been in isolation since late Thursday. The CDC confirmed her Ebola Ebola diagnosis on Sunday. It's the first time the deadly virus has been transmitted in the United States. And I'm going to add to that, that they will admit. That they will admit. So she's been in isolation since Friday. And Eric Duncan, or Thomas Eric Duncan, passed away on the previous Wednesday. Now, she apparently graduated from Texas Christian University Accelerated Nursing Program. And, you know, the CDC director, Dr. Thomas Frieden, said that she's in stable condition at Texas Health Presbyterian. Now, the latest that I heard is that the doctor that contracted Ebola that was treated here in the Atlanta area, I forget his name right now, but I have to look it up, and I may not look it up before the end of this show or segment, but I heard that he donated his plasma to this nurse because apparently, you know, he was flown here and was treated, and apparently he got better. I don't know if he's cured or not. I never heard anybody say that he was actually cured of Ebola, but he donated his plasma. He flew out there to Dallas area and donated his plasma. So investigators have not determined how exactly the nurse contracted the disease, but one thing that we do know is that a whole lot of protocol was not followed, and I don't want to say just wasn't followed, but they just didn't know. And you can't put into effect something that you don't know. If you don't know, you don't know. So if this is, and I'm quoting from Frieden, that says if this one individual was infected and we don't know how within the isolation unit, then it is possible that other individuals could have been infected as well. That's what he said. We consider them to be at risk, and we're doing an in-depth review and investigation. I don't know what an in-depth view is, but one thing I'll say is this about Eric Duncan. He was around a lot of people, including his girlfriend, and then those people that he was around, you know, a ridiculous amount of people. And then you've got this nurse here. I don't know how soon that they realized that she was infected. Did she have an opportunity to go home and you know, be with her family and her family be with other people? I'm just saying, it just spreads. And then we have, I think, a situation in Boston. Is it? I don't know. I think a situation in Boston that has popped up as well. So it's a whole lot that is taking place. And like I said, it's just spiraling. And the last time that I mentioned something like this, an individual made a comment. I had several comments that people were saying, you know, that they agreed, they felt the same way. Some chimed in and said that they felt it was population control, because there are those that have said it's just too many people that's on Earth. Too many. We're looking at 7 billion people, and there are resources that are drying up. You know, the water is contaminated. The food has all kinds of crap in it, and you got geological pollution, or you know, that the type of pollution, meaning that if it's genetically modified and once it's released out, you know, all you got to do is just genetically modify one salmon and release it in the wild, and it's going to spread, right? So it's all kinds of theories and thoughts and concerns. And, you know, there's someone up in Lexington, Kentucky, Greg, who also posted for me to look up the, I'm contemplating, should I say it or not? But he asked me to look up a whole bunch of stuff, and you know, apparently there are a whole bunch of grave liners or coffin liners that are being stored here in the Atlanta area, notably in Madison and also in Conyers. No, was it Conyers? Yeah, Covington, not Conyers, Covington, Georgia, and Madison, where a lot of these coffin liners, and you can look it up, I did, it was, you're supposed to look up a FEMA, CDC coffin liners, and it's just like rows and rows and rows, and it can fit about 2-3 bodies in it. And then right there in Houston, Texas, there are the cement coffins that those liners go in, and basically someone was alluding to was that they have been preparing for just a massive amounts of deaths anyway, and the best way to dispose of the bodies that the United States could feel better with, instead of just pushing a whole bunch of bodies inside of a hole and covered it up, they had coffin liners to make it more humane. I don't know. It's craziness, but Somebody said population control. I don't know, y'all. But one thing is for sure, if you don't tighten up and allow for people to fly in and out of the country at will that have been to areas such as those that have been riddled with Ebola, upon which we know there is no cure for, and they're flying in now, it's only a matter of time before it's going to come here. So none of us should be surprised. None of us should be surprised at this point. But what we should be surprised is, why are folks surprised? And then not just that, but even the border. You know, how do we know that we've got all kinds of threats that are around us at all times? And I'm talking about even with the ISIL situation. How do we know that, you know, folks aren't purposely infected and they just walk on across the border and they're in with a whole bunch of people, and the next thing you know, they're in the schools with our children? I mean, I'm just saying, you know, it's peril that is surrounding all of us at all times, and it's just not hunky-dory. Things have changed. This is a whole new day, whole new era, and it's just high time. So keep it locked right here on the Bianca Burwell Show. We'll be back after this, and we got Daily featuring Marsha Ambrosius, Alone Together. Keep it locked. You are tuned into the Bianca Burwell Show on the TheBeatDropsRadio, your top 40 pop and R&B station. The new beat of Atlanta. The calling number is 404-826-9223. Again, 404-826-9223. The listen line is 301-347-0418. And right now, I have with me in my presence a king in the building. How you doing, sir?
Hey, how are you?
I'm glad you were able to make it. You know, I know it's that wonderful Atlanta traffic. You know,
Yeah.
At least this isn't your first introduction today.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a little special. It can be, especially around this time.
Well, it took us for 6. To be fair, we were told it was going to be 20 minutes to get here, and it took an hour. So
yeah, sometimes it's like that. You know, I'm sorry. You know that's that wonderful Atlanta traffic. But for those of you who don't know, a king is a rising British recording artist and songwriter that apparently from the age of 10 he started writing rap lyrics performed by his nickname Wavy. Now that's interesting because I'm looking, but you got a hat on. I can't.
Well, mine has changed somewhat since then. To be fair, I've got a mohawk or Mohican, as you want to call it now. But when I was young, we all had little nicknames. My best friend used to call me Wavy because of my hair. Everyone else had pepper grains. I didn't.
That's funny.
So yeah, it just stuck from there. To be fair,
I love the accent.
Thank you very much.
I love the accent. I've had a few folks here from a couple from the UK. Now I have you. Jay Hemming, matter of fact, right there.
Okay.
She's pretty wild.
Yeah, Jamaicans tend to be.
Yeah, that was. I was like, all right, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So, I want to. I want to learn a little bit about you.
Okay.
You know, and some of your influences, all of that. So let me just ask you this. You know, your bio says that you started rapping or writing lyrics at the age of 10.
Mm-hmm.
You know, who were the artists that you remember that you listened to at that age that influenced you to say, you know what, I'm gonna pick up this pen and I'm gonna start writing. Pulling on that a little bit. Because you know, 10, you're like,
yeah.
Like I started rapping when, but you know, sometimes it's that spark. It's somebody that you heard.
I wouldn't say it was rapping at that age. It was more so singing. So I would start singing and writing my own songs there. But it was more the lyrics, and then I try and put a melody to it. And if we're gonna say probably my biggest influence, my mum was a big like 80s, you know, Michael Jackson. So
Really?
Michael Jackson was probably the biggest influence I had. Yeah, I got all of his albums. I had the loafers with the short trousers and the white socks.
Did you put pennies in the loafers? Did you put pennies in there?
No, I didn't.
You know, they call them penny loafers. And we all had our little, you know, had to put a little penny in the middle.
Okay. I didn't know that.
It's called penny loafers.
But yeah, I'll probably say Michael Jackson is the biggest influence when it came to writing, just writing lyrics for songs.
Well, that's not a bad influence to have.
Oh, yeah. To me, he's the greatest entertainment that has ever lived.
He was on top of the world.
Will ever be.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, MJ.
Yes, indeed. I mean, he was a world-class performer. He was a perfectionist. You knew that if you were going to go to his show, you were going to be entertained.
Indeed.
I mean, definitely. So with that being said, if somebody was to come to one of your shows, you know, you want them to have like the A-King experience, right?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. So what might that, you know, what might that be like? What do you want people to walk away with? They come to a show, it's like, you saw A-King? Did you see A-King? What kind of experience do you want people to have with you?
I want them to be completely flabbergasted as to how I'm quite a big guy. I don't know, you guys talking pounds. I don't know how many pounds I am, but you know,
okay.
I'm a stocky guy, so you will think, how does he move around like that for so long and so go so hard with it? When I get off the stage, I am dripping in sweat because I give it 110%, and I think people appreciate that because you go to like my main focus right now is hip hop. So you go to a lot of hip hop concerts and guys just stand in the middle of the stage, just nod their head and expect the crowd to do a lot of the work for them. But no, I put in the shift up there. So
like you sounded like, I mean, I haven't seen you perform.
Yeah.
You know, Jay Millie, when she recommended, I was like, okay, because Jay Millie does a great job. You know, when she's out there. But you know, we had Heavy D. You know, rest in peace. That just He was a big guy, but he was light on his feet.
Okay, I'm not that big.
You guys can see him. Go to TheBeatDropsRadio.com, click on Watch Live, and you'll be able to see him. No, he's not as big as Heavy D was, but Heavy D was light on his feet. He was killing it. Giving shows like that. So you dancing around,
I jump, I dance,
jumping and all of that.
all of that. You've got to entertain the people.
Yes,
Particularly when they've come to pay to see you.
exactly.
I mean, well, I'd say a small percentage of people from Atlanta have seen me now. Performed at 3 venues so far since I've been out here, and possibly even tonight as well.
Oh,
and we're trying to work.
Oh.
I'm going home tomorrow, so yeah, I'm trying to get the most out of it. It's been a very, very exciting experience, I must say. Atlanta, the people are beautiful.
Now, you met Jay Millie at the ABC, right?
Yeah, I was performing.
You were performing.
Yeah.
How did you? Okay, I'm gonna try to pace myself. What are the differences that you've seen from British people and American people as far as the music industry is concerned?
The hustle. Do you know what? I was just saying to my manager on the way here, well, the one thing I'm taking from this trip going back to the UK is the hustle. It's the sheer hunger of how badly the people want it out here compared to how much they want it. And not to say that we don't want it as much, but we're a lot more reserved in the UK. We're a lot more, whereas out in the A, as they say, they go for it. And if someone's trying to sell themselves to you, they're going to sell themselves to you all the way. And I'm taking that back, and I'm 100 levels of that. I can assure you that.
I was wondering that. I was wondering how does Britain feel about hip hop?
It's a very, very controlled, a very, very small percentage of the mainstream that actually gets through. We're very limited as to what we can do and how far we can go out there.
Seriously?
Yeah, there's a much bigger market out here. Hip hop's more of a culture. I always say to my friends, it's almost a religion out here. Do you know what I mean? People believe it's a culture, it's their life. Whereas in the UK, pop music is more of the only music you really hear.
Really?
You'll go onto the main radio stations and you'll hear the same 5 or 6 songs.
Don't you hate that?
It's annoying. I can literally be driving on the motorway and I'll flip from one station to the other and you'll hear the same song in almost exactly the same place.
Really?
It's this, that.
Oh yeah, that almost sounds like they have payola over there.
So something similar to it, yeah. So obviously, if you make that one hit, you'll earn a dough. But for the other people that are out there with the good music to potentially get through, it's tough. It's tough.
So is there like an underground,
Oh, there's a big underground scene. There's a massive underground scene. That's where I suppose the few hip hop artists that do make it out are found. And it's all about, over here, for example, I've been speaking to a lot about Atlanta artists, and they say that the internet, it plays a big part, but you can blow up without having conquered the internet, so to speak. Whereas where I'm from, you have to conquer the internet before anybody will take notice of you. Yeah. So you need to be getting 10,000, 15, 20, 30,000 views on your videos before people start to take notice of you. Whereas here, it doesn't seem like it's like that. It's more, you can go to a show and people actually take your music and go and find you and follow you on Instagram and Twitter and things like that. Whereas in the UK, if they don't see that you've got X amount of followers or X amount of videos, they're not going to be interested.
Really?
Yeah, the hustles.
That's interesting that they would even, because I'm going to tell you, here people can buy viewers, they can buy followers. Yeah, so we don't pay too much credence. I want to hear you.
That's what it is. But that's why, the person who brought me out here, Mr. Play, I've got to give him the utmost respect because he is one of few people that are actually bringing the underground through. Now, this trip, he's quite a well-connected man, and he's got quite strong links in Atlanta, and he had the opportunity when he was told about the A3C to bring through, whatever acts he wants from the UK. But instead of bringing the ones that are already out there, he said, you know what? I see the ones that have got the hustle. I see the ones that have got the drive and they've got the talent, and who may not necessarily be getting the publicity that they should be. So he used the opportunity to bring them through, and that's what I respect the most. We need more people like that, to be fair.
Yeah, that's always good. That's always good. Now, is the hip hop that you guys listen to over there, is it more towards like the heavy lyrical content, like old school hip hop used to be here, or is it more like what we are seeing right now called trap music?
Yeah, I would say it's diverse. I would say it's diverse. Trap music, should I say, the UK tends to follow what the US is doing to an extent. Yeah, I would say we're a year or two behind, but trap music is probably definitely the most popular. But yeah, we have a few artists that are, you know, probably the most common names you'll see, and you listen to their content and you're just thinking, why do people buy into this? But then we do have a few big artists as well who are really lyrical. So it's a roll of the dice, I still. Yeah.
Some of us that you know, like hip hop is just like you said, it is a culture, and it's some that some hold as like, you know, very sacred. Like, you know, we're listening to or we're talking over an instrumental Gangstar. You know, Gangstar was real, you know, lyrical. We call him Google. You know, and then you have, you know, other artists like, you know, KRS-One and you know, Chuck D, Public Enemy, and you know, everybody had their own style, and I, you know, like here, it is a bit of a disappointment as far as trap music is concerned, because what it does is, you know, it's like wrapped around. This is my opinion. I'm just gonna tell you, I'm one of those straight. You can talk,
I feel that.
But it's just wrapped around this, you know, nonsense rhetoric, and you're not. The beats are hot, but you're not saying anything.
Yeah.
You know, as far as the trap music is concerned, it's like, what happened to the diversity that people would have their own styles? We respected that. So now when we hear artists that have their own style, their own sound, and, you know, finally somebody who doesn't want to sound like Lil Wayne, we hear them. Because back in the day, that's how that was. They used to call that biting.
Okay.
If you sounded like somebody else, let's not bite. Because they wanted you to have your own style. Nobody sounded the same. So if you were like in a real good mood and you want in a playful, you know, party mode, you want to hear Heavy D and the Boys, because that's how he was. If you were in like a militant, like fight the power, you're gonna listen to Public Enemy and Chuck D. If you know, in an education type thing, you want to listen to KRS-One. It was a mode. You know, every mood that you had, there was music to reflect that, and that's what hip hop is missing right now, and that we're longing for. So, you know, I listened to your music, you know, and I was glad not to hear some of the same. I'm serious. I'm so serious, because I was like, oh Lord, is it gonna be? but it's refreshing to hear something different.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, I appreciate that. You know, so
thank you.
Let me ask you this: is it hard to build a fan base? Do you think really in the streets of Britain? Do you think it's real hard to build a fan base?
Yes and no.
Explain that for me.
Depending on what type of financial backing you have.
It depends on the financial backing?
Definitely.
Really?
That or potluck. I mean, the majority of, I don't want to say too many things on air, but like the majority of people that are sort of blown up in the UK live a particular lifestyle that allows them to fund their music. Yeah, I'll put it like that.
Okay. That was nice.
Whereas, you know, an everyday Joe who's got a job and you may be responsibilities of paying rent and stuff like that, but you've got music as your, you know, your main aspiration, to fund it just off the back of that, very difficult. Very, very difficult. I'm lucky enough to have a team around me where we handle everything in-house. Like, for example, my producer in the studio with me now, he handles the videos, the music, so we're in-house completely. Whereas other people, they don't really have that. So they've got to pay video guys, they've got to play vloggers, they've got to do this, they've got to do that. So yeah, it can be difficult. It can be very difficult. But at the same time, potluck, if you have that one tune and it just so happens to blow up, everything can change overnight.
That's hot. I want to listen to one of your songs. It's called 3 AM in Kennington. Did I get that right?
Yeah, you got it right.
You know, because I said Kensington, y'all. I did say Kensington because here in Atlanta we have the Kensington train station. So, you know, and I looked at, I automatically just put an S in there. You know, but tell me what went into, matter of fact, you know what? Hold that. We're gonna listen to the song real quick, right? And then we're gonna come back and talk about, you know, what all it went into. So introduce your song.
Ladies and gentlemen, you listen to WBVE Radio. This song right now is called 3 AM in Kennington. It's by me, A King. Let's get it.
Give it up. Everybody watch it, listen to it. People listen to it later. Watch. Watch, listen, take pictures of it.
Staring up at my ceiling, thinking up some ways to make myself more appealing. Music is my hustle, verses are what I'm dealing. I'm trying to get you all, check my character's not the villain. Peter Pan fly, never taste. Who's out, confident to use, made the baddest. Stormed out, setting freedom. Easy like Valentine's, February, we conveniently fall out, we all out, going all out, to get all in, no days off, no sleep, to the all win, and if the team gets back to the match crimes, then my voice, life from a cup, yeah, I broke up with my boss, cause my future offers me better, if I want it, I'll go hard till I get it, I never let up, so if I say I'm a Rihanna, nigga, I'm a person. Trying to be Mr. Do more and say less to get a little deeper in, but this game's stress. So I'm getting me some relief from the opposite. Taking all your queens overnight like I'm playing chess. Checkmate, checkmate, let me set straight. I ain't gonna move, friends, they all a dead weight. If I got you, then we family, we got a set play. At the table where we break bread and we say grace. Amen for my city where science just a newspaper. Where sex uses friends and get you mutilated. All eyes on us, cause we new made. Jesus Christ, I'm a rag, I'm a new savior. Yeah. You really out here, living out west, all day, every day. MMG, see the rockstar. That's the family. You wanna die here, yo. Oh, yo.
I like that. That's pretty hot.
I like that too.
Yeah, all y'all vomiting here too. I'm singing along the whole time.
Yeah.
That's a pretty nice song. You know, so what went into the concept of writing that song?
You know, there's certain beats and certain instrumentals that you hear, and it just I'm talking the first 5 seconds I heard it. My producer sent it to me, and I called him back and I said, "You're a mad guy." I just loved it straight away. Today, I still think that's one of the best beats he's ever made. The sample in it, just it gave me literally
chills.
Yeah.
And
And I knew straight away that it was going to be a track where, you know, you just pour out your heart, you just give it some. And I didn't need a hook or anything. I just said I'm going to go in, and I titled it 3 AM in Canada because sometimes I'm one of those random creative people that I can wake up in the middle of the night and I have to write a song. Yes, and I won't be able to sleep if I don't do it. So I woke up at 3 AM and I live in Kennington in London, so that it just made sense. 3 AM in Kennington, that's what I called it. It was me just opening up my heart. My team always tell me, "You need to do that more, man. You need to do it more." And I'm quite a close person. I don't really like letting off my feelings, but on a music track, I can do so. So I thought, you know what, I can still be the cheeky me. So there's a few lines in there that, you know, it's got the cheeky Alex that there is, but at the same time, I do mention some things in regards, like, you know, I don't have any friends. I've only got family. So if I consider you to be my family, then that's what it is. I don't really do friends. That's what it is. So there's that. I mentioned, you know, if you're bringing something to the table, and that's where we pray and stuff like that, then we put God first, basically. So there are some things in there that you just have to listen to it and see what I'm actually saying. But it's one of my favorite tracks, to be fair, on that CD. And
when I heard it, I fell in love with it. I said, this is that gritty, that old school kind of feel. That's what I'm hip hop. That's that hip hop. And I loved it.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. I was like, you know what? I might rock this one.
Ah,
I might put this one in rotation. I don't know. You know, like this is
That's what we're
pretty,
trying for. That's what we're trying
yeah,
for.
this is pretty hot. You know, so I commend and your producer. What's your producer's name?
This one's strange.
This one's strange. That's his name.
But
This one's strange.
with the English twang on it, we put the D on it, so it's this one's strange.
All right.
Yeah.
They already.
Yeah, I told you he's one of the best. He's one of the best.
on the lady, man.
That's all right.
Literally.
Right
That's
there.
all right. There's nothing wrong with that. I you know, that's cool. Like I said, that you look for and you yearn for that.
Mm.
You know, so since we talked about that, you know, how did you go about building your team? You know, we go through stages and steps and, you know, different parts of our careers and trying to find the right fit.
Mm.
You know, so how did you go about building your team?
So I had been doing the music thing by myself for a while, and I think my friends had got to the point where they'd be like, you know what, Alex, you're actually really good, you're talented, we can see it, but you need to go to the next step. You need to go to the next step. And my best friend Kofi, we've been doing like events management on the side, so we like putting on events in clubs and stuff like that.
Mm.
So he's quite an organized person out there, likes to talk to people. And he was like, you know what, let me manage you. Let me form some sort of management team that will start to get your music out there. And alongside a few other acquaintances and friends, they formed what's called A-Star Management. And I was the first artist that they started to manage. And literally since then, things have progressed so much further. Like, I've got my website, I've got everything's in order. Do you know what I mean? Everything's in order. I get shows, I get radio events like this. And
Yes,
yeah.
indeed. The Beat Drops Radio, Bianca Burwell Show. Go ahead.
I love that, Doug. I love that. But yeah, and naturally, like I said before, I don't have friends, I have family. So the fact that my family wanted to get involved in my music and invest in me as a person, it's like I didn't want a random person telling me what to do. But where they can be in the studio with me and they hear something and they can say, you know what, I don't like this, but I like that, and change this. I can hear that from them because it's not that.
So you're open to, you want that.
Oh yeah, I'm open to criticism.
You don't want yes men around you.
No, not at all.
That is great. I'm
And
glad to
I
hear
can
that.
assure you, my manager is far from me. He gets on my nerves sometimes. He can be on to me too much. Like, just before we came here, we were shooting a video, and it was like, I had 2 takes, and I was like, yeah, that's a good take. He's like, no, I want another one. Because that's his mentality. He's like, no, we
Like
get it right.
perfectionist,
Yeah, we get it right. And you know what? I may push, I may push away a little bit from that, but I need that, and that's why he's in the position he's in, because he makes things happen. You know what I mean? So yeah, I've got a great team around me.
That's great.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that, because everybody doesn't have that they're not blessed with that.
Yeah, and I can assure you, if it gets to the point in time that we're in talks with labels and stuff like that, my team comes with me, plain and simply.
Would you want to be with a label, or would you rather be
Right now, no.
indie?
Right now, no. I would not want to be with a label right now,
Now tell me why.
because I could be putting
You're
an
right.
X. I could be putting an X on my spot right now, but no. Where I'm from, I've seen too many good artists get shelved. And I wouldn't want that. I'd want the freedom to be able to make the music I make, because that's how I got to that point in time anyway, because people like the music that I make. And from there, why would you change? Just because you're in a better position than you're in a position to be more popular or make even more money. There's more important things to life. I can assure you, if someone told me you'd never get signed and you'll never be famous, I don't care, I'll still make music. That's how much passion and how much love I've got for it. I can't imagine not making music. So yeah, independent, and plus in this day and age you can make more money independent.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
So yeah, it's just literally about improving your networks and making the right moves. With those right moves, you can do your own thing.
I think it's real hot that you guys made the trip over. But I'm going to ask you something. I don't know if it'll make you uncomfortable or not. I'm going to ask you something, because we deal with a lot of indie artists here. And some of them have gotten in the mindset that the manager is supposed to pay for all their stuff. Do y'all do that too?
No,
do you look to...
We invest in, like, all of us.
I heard you said invest.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing.
We all invest into it.
Please hear that, y'all.
We all invest into it, like, because the way we see it, we're all investing into an opportunity that can benefit us all in the future. Like I am one portion of this operation. Yes, I make the music, I make the product, but then without Jay making the beat, I couldn't make that music. Or without Kofi making the interviews and stuff like that to promote my music, it wouldn't happen. Right. So we all have, you know, aspects to benefit from. We're a team. Well, there's a saying, you know, you're as weak as your team is as strong as the weakest link. So, you know, no, not on my account. No way. We're Spartans.
I'm glad to hear that. You know, I'm glad to hear that you get it. That, you know, it takes hard work and you got to invest in yourself. You know, you can't expect somebody else to, foot the whole bill while you might do something.
Not at all.
You know, that's one of the things that artists here have a hard time understanding that. And some of them get upset, like, you supposed to. No, I'm not. No, this is your dream. Now I will help you. But I'm not going to take all my paychecks and pour it into your account and maybe see something back later on. You know, so I'm glad to hear. And also the fact that you traveled a long way. How long was that trip, by the way?
Too long. It was 9 hours, I believe. For me, it was even longer because I literally went on a family holiday to North Africa and Tunisia, landed in the UK, literally went home, changed my bag, and went back to the airport. So it was a very long day for me.
Wow, I'm sure.
But it's worth it, to be fair. Like, this experience it's brought so much. I've met so many new people,
right? So
many new connections. There's a lot of work to be done on the way back. So
we gotta make sure we follow each other.
Oh, 100%, 100%.
On Instagram and Twitter. If you're on Twitter.
Yeah, well, I'm all on there.
Oh, that'll be.
Yeah, for sure. I'll follow it. Well, as soon as I get Wi-Fi, I'll follow you.
Well, that'll work. So, you know, who do you listen to aside from yourself? What artists do you listen to?
I've got a very eclectic taste in music. You know, I don't just listen to hip hop. To be fair, I listen to hip hop now and then. I don't really listen to it on a regular basis. I like to listen to a lot of, you know, jazz.
You like jazz?
I like jazz music.
I love jazz.
And I like instrumental jazz. I like, even without words.
Any words?
Like, I can listen like John Coltrane on the trumpet.
Oh my goodness! You said John Coltrane.
Yeah,
you like jazz.
I'm messing with that heavy still. Yeah, for sure.
I don't hear too many folks named John Coltrane. Go ahead on
music. Bit of Bob Marley, little reggae on a Sunday. You know, looking up some good food. You got to listen to a bit of reggae. Yeah. But I would say John Legend. That's my favorite male vocalist. He just got some.
I love that too. Yeah. And he's clear too. You can feel.
He's music. Music. If we're talking hip hop, though, rap. It's all the way from M to Jay-Z to J. Cole, Kendrick. To be honest, if it's hip hop, I listen to anything because you learn and take so many things from different. And I'm talking old school, new school. Yeah. To be honest, it's only recently that I've started to listen to hip hop from sort of like down south, like the trap music. Because I like you. I did like the whole no lyrical content thing. I didn't embrace it. It's only now that I've been out and I've been into the clubs and stuff like that where the music bangs.
It's the beat.
Yeah, the beats just.
Doesn't it get you?
They get me.
It's
so
like,
much.
oh, I don't even know what they're saying. Especially with the. What's he saying? Does anyone know what he's saying?
I don't know, but we're about to pull out the.
You know what I mean? With that beat though, that beat. Oh, you can play that without him.
Yeah.
You really can.
Yeah. So man, on the music, you can't limit yourself. You've got to listen to everything. So, but I don't know, man. Me personally, I can't limit myself. I have to listen to everything.
Right.
Come on.
You have another song.
See, this one's more. Now I'm gonna feel bad for you playing it because this one's a little bit more.
Oh, the trap music side.
No, I wouldn't say it's trap music, but I made it with the purpose of gaining attention with people, or should I say the general people, the general listeners. You know, the listeners who they're not really bothered about the content. It's more the sound and the catchy hook and stuff.
We've all done that.
Precisely. So I mess around with different sounds because you never know that one fan that you maybe make. If I was to just make deep trap constantly, I may be Xing myself out from different people who like my music.
Well, no, you're right.
So I tend to make different sort of tracks. And this one, Riding Dolo, is actually American slang.
I was gonna ask you, where did you get Riding Dolo from?
Yeah, I listen to. I like watching the battle raps and stuff like that. And I had first heard it there, and I was like, "What's Dolo?" So I googled it. I was like, "Yeah, I like that one." Dolo, yeah,
That's pretty cool.
I like that one. So yeah, this one's Riding Dolo.
All right.
Yeah, the beat's crazy. The hook's catchy. People like it. Off my mixtape, it's one of the most.
This is the same producer.
Yeah,
Same
this
producer?
one's
In-house,
So-
in-house.
So he's versatile.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I make him go out of his comfort zone a lot of the time. A lot of the time, he likes making the sort of like calm, deep
Yeah,
tracks that I can sort of like probably pour my heart onto.
Mhm.
But then I'll say, no, I want something turned up.
I got you.
But
All
he
right.
can do it. He can do it. So yeah.
Let's listen to Riding Dolo right here. Hey King.
Hold on.
Bianca Burwell Show. Keep it live. It's the first time I kept this wide open. Normally I'll switch, but I was like, I'll keep that.
How long have you been doing the show?
I've had this station now for a year. We celebrated a year, April the 26th. We celebrated a year now, but I've been doing radio for about a month.
It's natural. I can tell.
Nah,
Just flows.
I decided, once I had the opportunity to have my own, I went. In fact, it's still a bus riding around with my face on it for the other station I used to be with.
Serious.
What station was that?
That was Sensation Station. It's in Atlanta. And they're still riding around. So people was like, hey, I just saw you on the like, I need to call them about that. Take my face
It's good. If you ain't paying me for it, take my face off.
Right? He still have Bianca Burwell. Like, aren't you red? But some folks don't even realize that that's not my station. They think it is. They just look at my face and they just automatically assume like that's not even my station. So
this is your station.
Yep.
What's it feel like to have your face on the bus? That must be pretty cool.
Yeah, it was. It was cool.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, that was cool. I was like, especially one day when I saw it go by. But nobody, it's like, hey, that's never mind.
But one thing I realize about the city is, in terms of promotion and getting stuff out there, they do a lot more than we do over in London. Although we might have, if an artist comes out with an album, we might have it on a bus, on a big double-decker buses around here. But not the stuff you're telling us. We're out here, we're seeing artists on it's all new to us.
Oh,
Don't
This guy's mixtape.
road. Yeah,
Like he's literally spray painted on it. I'm just like, you wouldn't see that.
they just don't tolerate it.
Believe we're learning. We're learning.
Yeah,
We're learning a lot. We're taking it a lot.
I saw a guy. This is A3 season.
Was he carrying
No. They're performing. He was performing 2 cars and he had girls in balaclavas and they were dancing around him. But it's just like, you wouldn't say that in the UK.
Nah, I'm talking about the other guy that was carrying the round his back.
Oh, a big sort of like.
A big sort of advertisement. Yeah. And it's just like, wow, like I just feel the passion, the hunger and the drive. I feel a lot more over here, to be honest. And we're coming back. Don't worry, we're coming back.
Yeah, for sure. We're coming back.
That's how I'm glad you guys made that trip.
How's the radio station doing, though?
It's gonna be good. I have 72,000 listeners monthly. I have a great deal that are overseas as well as here. That's what we like. We like to get over there. You have listeners in the UK, you have listeners in the Philippines, China, Hong Kong, Australia, which is really, really cool. And that's the advantage of having an online radio station.
That's what it is. Yeah. So do you have podcasts and stuff?
You have what?
Like podcasts. People can listen to it after the live show. What we do?
Oh, podcasts. Yeah, people can listen to it.
Okay.
And also this is on YouTube too, so it's always available. It doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I'll make sure I send it.
Because obviously, because of the time difference and stuff, we need to get them over there to be listening to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're 5 hours ahead.
Yeah. So it's like almost like it's at night.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So that's one of those songs that And there's nothing wrong with that because I will say, like, as far as content for the station, there are some things that I talk about that I really don't necessarily want to, but it's because I know the type of field that I'm in. I have to talk about entertainment. I have to talk about controversial stuff. I have to talk about sometimes some political type stuff. You know, because that's what
for sure,
you gotta do.
for sure.
You know,
that song there, it was. I wouldn't have played it to my mom, put it that way.
He was like,
yeah, mommy hears some songs, but then others she doesn't.
He was like, no. Well, let me ask you, how does your family feel about what it is that you do?
Do you know what? Yeah, I come from my mom's family is East African, and coming from an African family is quite difficult, because there's certain things expected from you. My grandparents are all like, I'm talking barristers. My mom's a police sergeant. My dad's they've both got master's degrees. So that is what is expected of you. You study this, go to university, get a job. So when I turn around to my parents and say I'm a rapper, they're just looking at me like,
you're like, what?
Yeah. So you went to university for what?
Yes, I did.
And to be fair, my mom, I think literally only now she's realizing that this is what I actually do. This is what I'm going for. Because I told her, Mom, I've got a few gigs in America. And she's like, what?
Like, where'd that come from?
I thought that was just a hobby. Mom, I've been telling you. But yeah, so now she's understanding. But yeah, my younger sisters, they love it. I'm probably sure they're my biggest fans. They love my music. That's always singing along. So yeah, my family are quite supportive. Regardless of that, even though Mum's support, it was a hobby, she was still very supportive.
That's cool. That's cool.
Definitely.
Who would you like to work with? Who would you like to be in the studio with? Either artists or producers, doesn't matter.
Ooh, that's a good question, Producer-wise, there'd probably be a list of 3. For the type of beats and stuff that I like, I would say Timbaland is 1. I think the way he can get drums and I'll just go crazy with him. I would also say probably Ninth Wonder.
Ninth Wonder?
Yeah.
I like Ninth Wonder.
And going back, I know I'm going to say Jay Dilla. Just because.
Yeah, that's what we listen to right now.
Yeah, I know. Now, like, Jay Dilla beats, they're for a particular type of rapper. But I think if I was in the studio, I don't fit into that sort of category. With the Most Defs and the Common and all those guys. I don't fit into that genre. But his beats are just perfect.
They're hot.
They're
it's like classical. It's the, just hip hop.
That's hip hop. That is hip hop. Yeah. So I think in a studio with him, he would bring something out of me. I'm sure. I'm sure. So yeah, but rapper wise,
yes,
Kendrick. Right now.
Kendrick Lamar.
Right now, yeah.
Okay.
Right now. If we're going back, then Tupac. I'm a massive Tupac.
So I'm hearing a lot of artists that are lyrical.
Yeah.
Who your name is?
Well, I'm gonna say something controversial. I don't know. Lyrically, I don't think there's ever been a better rapper than Eminem, personally.
Oh, he said,
oh. I know a lot of people. When I say lyrically, I mean,
it's not that he's terrible. He's not.
Yeah.
He is good.
He's a bit nuts, a bit crazy.
Yes.
His subject matters, but it's more, when I say lyrical, I mean how M can make a word that you would never think rhyme, and on the melody and on how he rides the track, and it's mental. Yeah, it's actually mental. But yeah, Pac,
Tupac.
There was I would say, you guys call it high school. When I was in secondary school, I would say there's maybe 3 years that I did not. I wouldn't go to school without listening to Tupac before school, like without fail. And Pac, I don't know. There's something about him. He inspires you. He literally.
Yeah. Even now, we still, there's a lot of unreleased stuff that his mother and I guess whatever they worked out that they gradually released. But it's interesting on how it's still like timeless.
That's very true. I'll put a question to you. I know this is probably not common.
All right.
Do you think that if Pac was still alive, that the sort of trap music that is out now would be so popular?
I don't.
Neither do I.
I don't, because music, of course, it changes and it changes with the times. But when you have those strong, when you have those strong artists that he was like the leader or the face of West Coast hip hop. You know, he came from New York, but West Coast hip hop and Biggie Smalls was the New York. They were like running it, you know, and everybody. And they still have a lot of respect for him, but just how? Nah, I don't.
I agree. I completely agree.
I don't. Not, and you're right. That's not normal for somebody to ask me. Not normal.
Well, I change it up.
Yeah, you change it up a little bit on me. But well, let me ask you, you know, to how can people find you? Finally, because I know we gotta get out of here shortly. But how can people find you, follow you? What's all your website, all of that stuff?
So my name is A King, Alex King. For those that don't know, my website is kinggeneration.com. So naturally, you would spell it with 2 G's, but I thought let me be different. Let me just use it as one word. So it's KING and then ENERATION.com. Instagram's King Generation, Twitter's King Generation, Facebook's King Generation. You know, I'm trying to be the leader of the new school. Yeah, I'm trying to be the leader of the new school. Like when people listen to my music, 10 years back, I'll say, you know what? Where I'm from is I'm from the Wiley and grime era.
Oh, okay.
So in 10 years from now, I want kids where I'm from. I'm from that King Generation. Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, sir.
That's pretty hot. That's pretty hot. And I'm gonna ask you something real serious before we get into what are you thinking about the Ebola situation?
It's scary.
Yeah.
It's very, very scary. I'm praying for those people out in, you know, West Africa. I've got a lot of friends who are from that part in the world. It's scary. So I'm just hoping it doesn't break out and spread further because it doesn't seem like there's much we can do about it. Yeah. But you know, all we can do is pray. All we can do is pray.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, you know, and we knew it was only a matter of time before it was going to be here in America, though.
It's come over to America.
Yeah,
oh my God, that's news to me.
We already have Thomas Eric Duncan passed away in Dallas on last Wednesday. 50 to 70 people that cared for him. One of the nurses has now contracted Ebola. We have another case in Boston, Massachusetts. Another one that's possible in New York. You know, but we knew it was only a matter of time because of flights. You know, America just is the money. They rather have, you know, it's almost like collateral damage. That, you know, we're not gonna shut down the flights because we want the money.
Yeah,
you know, so we know that eventually some folks are gonna come through, but you know, it didn't compare along with the money that they were getting. It's crazy. But we knew it was coming. It was like only a matter of time.
Hopefully it doesn't spread too much.
Yeah, man. You know, we want them to control it as much as possible, but that's another topic. But we appreciate you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
It felt good getting to know you, man.
And you.
You know, you seem to be a pretty down to earth, driven individual. You got your team in here with you, and I'll make sure that you guys get this interview. I'm gonna post it up.
Wicked.
And send you guys a link so you can share it around.
Definitely will do.
You got any shout outs you want to give real quick?
Team Rockstar. Now, to be fair, I want to first and foremost thank God. That is, you know, I wouldn't be here without him. Thank you to Jay, my producer, cameraman, my friend. Shout out to Kofi, my brother, my right hand man, and get the guy that gets the job done. Mr. Play, thank you so much for booking me to come out here. And of course, thank you for having me on your show.
Well, thank you.
Jay Moose.
I appreciate it so much. We're gonna have to do this again.
I'm going to be back in the
back.
I am going to be back in this beautiful state that is Georgia. I'm going to be back.
Yes, indeed. Well, we appreciate you, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.
All right.
If you haven't done it already, make sure you like us on our Facebook page. Just go to TheBeatDropsRadio.com, click on the F, and that'll take you right there. Click like and then share with your friends. Suggested all of that. Follow us on Twitter at BeatDropsRadio, and also my Instagram handle is Bianca_Burwell. You know how we do it. Every day, 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be here on tomorrow. Not to mention, every Wednesday, Full Belly Radio with Dave Tolliver, Jay Millie, L. Garth. We also have Master Christian Dog Show. And we have a new show coming soon. You might want to, we might talk about that. But indie artists that are going to be battling in a competition, there'll be a winner every month. Just saying, every month, a winner. And grand prize, $100 plus your album, your single spins for 4 weeks on the station. So just stay tuned for all of that, and the details are coming soon. We appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. We'll see you on tomorrow. The Bianca Burwell Show. We done.
It's like these.
We have to take pictures real quick.
Yeah, sure.
My son is knocked out. We're gonna have to I'm gonna have to have one of y'all take the picture. Leo! I know you wanna do some camera time with you. Yeah, wanna just
Where?